Welcome to Alaska Weather, a production of Alaska Public Media and the National Weather Service, Alaska Region. Produced and broadcast daily from the studios of KAKM, Alaska Weather provides complete forecasts, public, marine, and aviation for all of Alaska. Alaska Weather is made possible by the following sponsors.
The National Weather Service.
Hello again and welcome to Saturday's show. There's still a flood warning out here for the Taya River there, Skagway area, through tomorrow for the continued rainfall that's been occurring off and on in the area there. Heavier rain down in Sitka today, upwards of about 3.34 inches in the last 24 hours. Beginning to taper off a little bit. They lost the R plus or heavy rain they were carrying, went to light rain at 4 o'clock. And Yakutat had about 3.13 inches in the last 24 hours, but that today mostly ended this morning, and they're just fogged in with high FR much of the afternoon down to 1 to 3 miles there, and ceiling's at about 300 feet. So the main band of moisture a little narrower and off to the east a little bit farther, and the whole thing ought to be moving through later tonight and tomorrow. Yesterday, it was back in this area. As you can see, wave down here, the heavier rain coming up and then sliding eastward in toward Yakutat and then down the southeast coast there, and up across the Copper River Basin, back to the west, an upper level system here coming down from the northwest. And that hung the showers on today a little longer. Actually brought another band across south of the mountains. It's in the Alaska Range overnight last night and early this morning. Brought a little bit of light rain with that, and that just enhanced the shower activity in the Copper River Basin, kept it cloudy and cool. Still raining over in Northway. Finally ended at Valdez this afternoon, but yesterday you could see a lot of clearing back here to the west with high pressure. That extending up to the north there. A pretty nice day in that area. This was the next system bringing the gale force winds into the Aleutians last night, and then that front today pushing eastward there. And Nikolsky had wind gusts from the southeast up to 60 miles an hour this afternoon, and about 35 miles an hour at Dutch Harbor. A little bit of light rain going on there, but nothing too heavy. Clouds in across the Alaska Peninsula. A little more continuous rain up around the Pribilofs, winds gusting 30 to 40 miles an hour there. And break behind that, as you can see, but a lot of sunshine, high pressure moving in, still an upper level system right through there with that patch of clouds. Not much in the way of any shower activity with that, but you can see it linking up with that leftover moisture to the east. That kept it pretty wet over towards Delta eastward to Northway and on down to the south. Got the bands of moisture here, another wave developing there on the front. That'll be moving northward tonight and push another, or keep it wet in the rainfall there along the front. And some of that should finally get into the southern southeast coast there and begin to continue to become showery here back from about Sitka. Still a chance of showers over toward Yakutat, all the way over to Cordova and northward to McCarthy, Kennecott, and Wrangell Mountains, and some isolated lingering scattered showers this evening up along the Alaska Range. But again, this area of showers will be sliding southeastward, so once the front comes through tomorrow, the showers will be coming down into the central and southern southeast coast, drying out to the west. Big high pressure here over the northwest interior. Light winds, some easterly breezes. Indian Mountain seeing gusts 20 to 25 miles an hour today. Otherwise, winds were pretty light, and definitely light in North Slope and the Arctic coast there. Clearing out on the west side, clearing off quite a ways offshore, and even breaking out to sunshine and clear skies even on the east side there after the clouds this morning tended to pull back from the coast this afternoon a little bit. And here's the front now for tonight, pushing up to the Alaska Peninsula. So you're seeing an increase in the winds, but the gale warnings continuing out here to the west and of course up to the north into the Bering Sea as the front pushes northward, and then dropping off clouds, cirrus continuing to increase right along the coastline and a little bit over Bristol Bay. Clear skies, light winds for Kodiak Island, barely a breeze there, mostly from the west-northwest. And then for tomorrow, we'll see this front gone now, a couple of troughs coming through the main upper level system sliding southeastward. It's kind of moving out in pieces here, still a lingering upper trough back over the southeast interior. That should be good for some clouds and a few scattered showers with clearing late in the day. Definitely lots of sunshine again over the interior. Kodiak Island up to the North Gulf Coast. Prince William Sound, another nice day. Seward on up to Whittier, sunshine again, and a nicer day for Valdez. Should see quite a bit of sunshine there, and that'll extend all the way up to the Arctic coast. Look for those southwest winds to pick up here on the west side. Looking at small craft advisories there for the western Arctic coast. Coming in, well, tomorrow, possibly as early as late tonight, but light winds off to the east there. And all that precipitation will stay back to the west through tomorrow, while there's a chance of rain, a risk of a little light rain reaching the southwest coast tomorrow afternoon. Mostly Cape Newenham, back up to Tooksuk Bay, Macoriac, those areas. Nothing making it to Bethel, maybe just some variable high clouds. Bristol Bay staying dry, and a lot of gusty winds, showers, and rain, drizzle, fog, that type of weather going on for the Aleutians. So quite a bit of marginal to IFR conditions, especially along the front here, breaking out behind it with the southerly flow coming across the Aleutians. Outlook for Monday, this front kind of stalls out here across the southwest interior, something like this, south of St. Lawrence Island. Big area low pressure, relatively stationary out here over the western Aleutians, so some gusty winds, periods of rain, fog, showers, and drizzle continue. That same sort of pattern up along the Alaska Peninsula. Mostly cloudy day, periods of light rain or drizzle with some fog all the way the entire stretch of the coastline there. And this will push a chance of rain into Kodiak late tomorrow night or during the night tomorrow night, especially on the west side. But Monday looks like periods of rain, fog, not much in the way of wind, but just a lot of marginal to IFR for the flying. And some of that will push up toward the southern Kenai Peninsula, but whatever rainfall makes it up this far north will be quite light. Better chance for only Omna, Seldovia, chance of rain. Really nothing at all, just an increase in the clouds up to Kenai and Anchorage. Possibility of a few showers along the western Alaska range, but dry now. Partly to mostly sunny there for the southeast coast. Could be a risk of a shower here over the extreme southeast part of that area of the state. Otherwise, sunshine again through much of the interior. In fact, mostly sunny for the Copper River Basin. Just partly cloudy skies is all that'll be happening there, with just no clouds over the interior. And just a weak trailing edge is all that will reach the Arctic coast there, that front. So winds will come back down, swing around to the northeast, and just a risk of a little moisture of the drizzle or fog variety and a few clouds, and that's about it. Staying quite nice on the east side. And St. Lawrence Island, east to northeast wind flow should definitely will keep the rain to the south and may even result in a partly sunny day in that area. More sunshine for the Seward Peninsula and up across Kotzebue Sound, Kivalina, and Noatak. Temperatures this afternoon, these are all 4 p.m. readings, 61 at Halak, 57 rain at Sitka, and a 52 in Elephant Cove. Skagway had 55, Yakutat 57, and fog 64 in Cordova, and Seward up to 66 degrees. Those northerly winds 15 to 25 miles an hour made for just beautiful sunshine there. 61 in Anchorage, 54, and the rain finally ended in Valdez. 47, kind of cool Gulkana, even cooler with the rain in Northway, 42 degrees. 48 at Delta, 59 at Fairbanks, and 54 over at Tanana. McGrath had 57, 50 at Fort Yukon, about the same over here at Bettles. Low 40s there for the Alaska Range. Arctic Village 43. Anatuvik had 43 also. They were down to 16 this morning, and Beaver was the coldest temperature I could find. They were down to 14 degrees. They're over this way, south of the Yukon River. Otherwise, this afternoon, mid to upper 30s, the eastern Arctic coast, lower to mid 40s to the west, 45 to 50 here over the northwest, Ambler at 52, 50s across the Yukon and Kuskokwim Delta areas from the Seward Peninsula. Some areas here reaching into the 60s. Golovin was 66 degrees this afternoon, and 55 at Macoriac, 48 at Gamble. Out in the Aleutians, pretty uniform, 50s everywhere from 52 at Shimya to 58 degrees at Unalaska and Cold Bay, Chignik up to 59. Lows tonight, teens and 20s again up here in the north areas and the northeast again, and 20s to upper 30s back to the west, mostly in the upper 20s to mid 30s for the Seward Peninsula. Southwest interior, 30s and 40s, lower 50s out over the Aleutians, and lower to mid 50s for the Panhandle. Highs tomorrow, 50s to lower 60s here for south central Alaska, and upper 50s to mid 60s for the Panhandle. Again, those southern areas possibly reaching the high 60s. Up along the Arctic coast, not too bad, 30s to lower 40s. Warmest here in the west. Again, that southwest push sliding northeastward there ahead of that front that's trying to come in from the northwest but doesn't quite make it. Mid to upper 50s here over the southwest to lower 60s, Bristol Bay and the Alaska Peninsula looking quite mild tomorrow. Flying weather, marginal VFR, mostly central and southern southeast coast, especially early in the day, tending to slide southeastward and improve back to the west here to VFR over just about all of the interior areas from Gulf of Alaska up to the Arctic Ocean. This stuff will stay off the coast through tomorrow. Marginal VFR with the IFR here along and south of the Alaska Peninsula, and then some marginal VFR with the front up along the southwest coast. They'll tend to edge in by tomorrow evening right up to the coastline. More IFR in bands and surges here around that low out to the west. Anaktuvik wide open tomorrow, VFR, both approaches, while Adigan looks good as well, good VFR. Lake Clark and Merrill, VFR, no ceilings or unlimited ceilings and visibilities for rainy and windy also. Isabel, VFR. VFR from Antasta, Tanita VFR, Portage looking good, VFR there. Chilkoot and White starting out marginal, especially on these northern entrances, and then becoming VFR. And for the freezing levels, now the colder air here pulling off into the northwest territories of Canada, and with this one trough slipping southeastward about 4,000 feet over the northern southeast coast. These are freezing levels for late tonight, early tomorrow morning. And quite a gradient here, 4,000 feet to 10,000 feet over the southern southeast coast. And then the warming pushing up, nudging these 10,000 foot line up there to the Bristol Bay coast ahead of that front that's coming eastward. And for icing, not really much of a threat anywhere, maybe some leftover scattered stuff here along the southeast coast, and then just some scattered areas of trace amounts at the most, maybe some light. I don't think there'll be any moderate rime icing out here to the west at all, just scattered areas of possible icing. And then for the upper level wind flow chart for tomorrow, have that system sliding southeastward, high pressure here trying to build up behind it, so that puts the squeeze on the atmosphere. And so I have an 80 to 110 knot jet here, but northwest, so that's going to push all that moisture out of the area there. And this is kind of hanging back to the south. Higher pressure here moving on in for tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, and into Monday as this pushes eastward, and then that'll eventually push something up to the Kenai Peninsula and of course across Kodiak Island tomorrow night, and then increasing rain chances across the Kenai Peninsula on Monday. For tomorrow at 9,000 feet, light winds, high pressure up here to the north. Watching a kick up in the winds here on the west side there ahead of that front, but only about 20 to maybe 25 knots. Some good westerlies here, mostly down to the south, lighter winds up to the north, and the southeast winds 35 to 40 knots from the eastern Aleutians into the Alaska Peninsula. Could even see some 20-knot winds show up here at this level along the southwest coast. Otherwise, lighter winds with the main low center back out over the central Aleutians, turning northwest 20 to 35 knots, now down to 3,000 feet there for the western areas. South to north for the most part on average right across the Aleutian chain, 35 to 40 knots, 25 knots for the Alaska Peninsula. Kind of diverging here, so initially most of that moisture sliding off to the east, but eventually this whole pattern will work up to the north and northeast tomorrow night and into Monday. This low will continue to slide off to the east, maybe some 15 to 20 knot winds from the northeast up along the Alaska Range for the eastern Tanana Valley. Turbulence possibly a little bumpy here, especially for small aircraft right along the central and southern southeast coast for a brief time tomorrow. And then moderate turbulence possibly reaching Nunivak Island and along mechanical stuff along the Alaska Peninsula, and another swath here just west of the Pribilofs and down across the east central Aleutians, and the stronger winds still to the south of the area there with a low center up in this region. And so not too bad here for the central Aleutian, south central Bering Sea. And after the break, I'll be back with a look at the marine forecasts.
Hello, this is Tom Ridge. I want to thank the aviation community for helping us keep our skies and our airports safe. The Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association, in partnership with the Transportation Security Administration, has created Airport Watch. Based on the highly successful Neighborhood Watch program, Airport Watch is a great example of government and the private sector working together to secure the homeland.
With AOPA's Airport Watch, you can make a difference. Airport Watch works just like the popular Neighborhood Watch programs, and it will be just as successful. You know, the government can't possibly hire enough guards to cover the more than 18,000 landing facilities in the U.S., but they don't have to. That's because there are more than 600,000 general aviation pilots. You know your airport. You know who's supposed to be there. You know what's normal and what isn't. And you care much more about what happens at your airport and to general aviation than any hired gun. People care about their neighborhoods. That's why a neighborhood watch works. Pilots care about their airports, and that's why AOPA's Airport Watch will help keep general aviation safe and secure.
Danbury Police, Sergeant Kurtz.
Danbury Police? Yeah, hi, my name is Susan Crowley. I'm a pilot. I've just landed at the Danbury Airport.
Where are you at the airport?
I'm at the grass tie-down at BAC. Okay, I'm trying to report a suspicious-looking guy who is moving from plane to plane and pulling at the doors.
But sometimes what looks like suspicious activity may not be what it seems.
Can I help you? Excuse me. Can I help you? Hey, buddy, come here. Excuse me. Hey, pal. Can I help you?
So I was just looking around at the airplanes.
Well, this is a high aircraft movement area, and you're not supposed to be walking around here unless you're a pilot.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. You know, I've just been interested in becoming a pilot in airplanes for such a long time, and I don't know, I guess I just wanted to come out here and check things out.
I mean, I'm a pilot, you know, and we've got a school here, and we've got this great program, Project Pilot. You want to come in and, you know, we can maybe set you up with a lesson?
Go ahead and greet strangers at your airport. It gives your airport the reputation as being a friendly, neighborly place. But friendly doesn't mean no security, just the opposite. But sometimes you don't want to be friendly for your own safety. If the situation looks criminal or hostile, don't approach. Pick up a phone and report as much as you can to 911 or the national toll-free security hotline 866-GA-SECURE.
Take it easy. Pick up your bag.
Hello, police. I'm at Westchester County Airport at Hangar 17. I'm watching a pilot of a corporate jet being pushed into an airplane. Yeah, you might want to come and check us out.
Note the things that will assist authorities to identify the subject. Note height, weight, hair color, and clothes. Look for distinguishing marks like scars or tattoos. And don't forget the aircraft end number. Now, one of the questions I've had is, when should you call 911? And when should you call 866-GA-SECURE? If it's clearly a criminal act, or it looks like someone might be in immediate danger, 911 is your best call. If it's something that just makes you suspicious, it just doesn't look right, call the toll-free security hotline, 866-GA-SECURE.
But I fly a PA-31 all the time. Is there a PA-31 here?
I don't think you can get one of those here.
Thank you very much.
Have a donut.
Excuse me. Do you know how much fuel it will contain?
Oh, I haven't the slightest idea.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something's starting to bother me about that guy.
You mean like he's not a pilot?
No, I don't mean that, but why do you think he'd want to know how much fuel the Navajo would carry?
You know, that kind of bothers me, too. You think we should report this? Hey, did you see what kind of car he was driving?
Use the security at your airport. Make sure gates are locked. If it's an automatic gate, make sure it's closed before you proceed. Don't ever make it easy for someone to take your aircraft. Crime happens because of opportunity. I now lock my aircraft doors even when stepping away from the airplane for just a few minutes. Consider using a prop lock or a throttle lock when you're away from the aircraft longer. And lock the airplane even when it's in a hangar. Remember, crime happens because of opportunity. To protect yourself and your airport, make access difficult. It's up to us to keep flying safe. It's up to us to shine the spotlight on people who would do us harm. And it's up to us to truly welcome those who want to share our freedom to fly.
Winds mostly west here along the coast, 10 to 15 knots, and southwest pretty light though at about 10 knots, mostly north or variable to north at about 10 there for Lincoln on Glacier Bay. For the outlook for Monday, northwesterlies here 10 to 15 knots. Probably the 15 knots will be down along the central and south coast, lighter up to the north, and 5 to 15 knots over the inside waters from the north to northwest, and a little more westerly possibly here with the southern zones. For the Cook Inlet area, light variable winds tomorrow. That'll extend all the way down to Shelikof Strait, and otherwise westerlies 10 to 15 knots everywhere else there from Kodiak. The 15-knot winds here along the western and central North Gulf Coast, but light winds Prince William Sound, and light variable winds through tomorrow or through Monday for Prince William Sound there. And also for the central Cook Inlet area, kind of tending to go southeast now across much of the area, but staying quite light, 10 knots northern Cook Inlet. Southeast turning east at 10 for Kamishak Bay, and then a southwest breeze there as that front kind of lifts to the north or whatever is left of it, and but the winds will only be up to 10 to 15. And then for the Bristol Bay zone, southeast 15, a little brisker down the coastline there, 20 knots from the south and southeast. West turning southwest at about 15 knots and tending to diminish a little bit tomorrow and tomorrow evening, southwest of Kodiak Island. And then for Monday, still 20-knot winds, higher gusts, possibly as high as 30 knots, say around Cold Bay for Monday, and actually tomorrow night as well. And then south 15 for Bristol Bay, southwest 15, southwest of Sitkinak. For the Aleutians, small craft advisories, most of the areas here from Atka Island all the way over to Unalaska with 20 to 25 knot winds, getting a little more south and southwest out in this area. Northwest from Kiska Island, or actually Amchitka, back to Shimia, 15 to 20 knots. And then it looks like 20 knot winds here, no change for the extreme western Aleutian chain. Small craft advisories though here, west to southwest, 25 to 30 knots, and then turning south across the Fox Islands, all roughly at about 25 knots through Monday. For the southwest coast tomorrow, southeast, turning east here up to the north, and then 25 knot easterlies there for the Bering Sea and St. Matthew Island zone. Southeast 25 for the Pribilofs, and east 15 for St. Lawrence Island. Those probably may kick up to 20 knots from the east and northeast here for the St. Lawrence Island zone. East 20 down into the northern Bering Sea, south to southeast at about 15, so not too strong along the coast. Still looking kind of breezy there for the Pribilof, southeast 25, maybe 30 knots at times. And up along the Arctic coast, very light conditions there on the east side and not much stronger here as you head toward the west. Till you get out here, these winds will be coming up, small craft advisories, probably coming up to 25 knots all the way down to Cape Lisburne, and then extending up at least into the western marine zone here by tomorrow afternoon there of the central coast. And then it looks like on Monday, things switch around and lighten up, really laid down, light variable winds along the east side, and then northeast winds over the or along the western coast there at about 15. They'll extend all the way down across, well, of course, the Chukchi Sea on down to the Bering Strait. And for tonight, again, still looking at rain, possibly briefly heavy at times, with this whole system finally starting to move out and weaken. Still some showers lingering back with an upper disturbance in over the southeast interior, but clear skies, light winds, Kodiak Island up to the west, to the north. This front bringing some rain into the Alaska Peninsula, light rain at times. I'd say just a 40 to 50% chance of anything measurable in any one location there, but staying wet and windy for the Pribilofs tonight, and wet and windy also for the Aleutians, with gale warnings still out in many areas out there for tonight and shifting up into the Bering Sea. And for the outlook for, or the forecast for tomorrow, kind of wet here along the Alaska Peninsula, a little breezy, not too bad, and then a chance of light rain or sprinkles reach the southwest coast tomorrow afternoon. Rain changes to showers here over the Pribilofs. Lots of showers and gusty winds there for the Aleutians, with that main low center just to the north of the area. And showers on the decrease. Now most of them will be heading down over the southern areas tomorrow. Then on Monday, they all move out. Still a lingering shower early in the day over the southeast. Lots of sun in the interior, increasing chances of rain along the...
These forecasts are to be used for planning purposes only. Call 1-800-WX-BRIEF for a formal pre-flight briefing. Always file a flight plan before you go flying. The U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary urges you to leave a float plan with a friend or the harbor master before you go boating. Alaska Weather is made possible by the following sponsors.
The National Weather Service.